Pat, we are doing a terrible job. I don't know why more people don't talk about it. I mean, I think we do. But I mean, if you really think about it, 1 in 3 of us has pre-diabetes. That's not to mention the other 30 million or so that have diabetes. Half of us have high blood pressure. That's crazy. Half of us have high cholesterol. These are the worst. 70% to 80% now, depending on the study, overweight or obese. That is like, I mean, it blows my mind. Yeah. And those numbers get worse and worse. Not to mention the exercise component, right? The AHA recommends 150 minutes of exercise. You get that. You probably got that this weekend. But 80% of Americans don't even achieve sort of minimal exercise. And I mean, one of the most striking things for me was seeing that when the CDC's last data comes out, there's a little bit of a lag. I think this was a 2019 data, but the death rate for cardiovascular disease for the middle-aged, which I'm in the middle age now, 45 to 64, is increasing. Everything else is decreasing. We're doing a good job. The folks at Farber are crushing it. We're doing a great job. Yeah. We're doing a great job in old people. Let me tell you, if you're 110, there isn't a hospital around town that's not going to jam some valve into your aorta to fix something. We're doing great with old people, but really where the focus needs to be, in my opinion, and younger people, it's just not there. And I was finding the wearables were very helpful in doing this in terms of helping motivate for exercise, right? Looking at metrics that I felt were kind of overwhelming people. And you have these Apple Watches, the technology is giving people fairly accurate heart rate variability, right?
Yeah.
Most people have no idea I have patients come in, think it's great that theirs is low, right?
Yeah, I don't know what that means either.
Yeah. So a high one's good.
Yep.
And a low one's not as good, and it's a predictive of cardiovascular mortality. So your heart rate variability is, which I think everyone should know. You can probably get it off your Garmin. But it is that beat to beat variability in your heartbeat. And you would think that wouldn't be a good thing.
Yeah.
But it's actually a good thing. It's a positive thing for your heart to have, this is measured in milliseconds, right? A significant beat to beat variation. So professional athletes, very high HRVs. People that are very deconditioned, don't exercise, overweight, very low HRVs because they have a little bit of elevated heart rates, and it's like a Swiss watch. It's like boom, 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 boom. And you can do things with your lifestyle to improve that, right? Like say, sleep a little better, get your 8 hours of sleep, moderate on the alcohol, hydrate, get those exercise minutes. So HRV is just an example of one of the dozens of biomarkers that we can use from different wearables to help prevent cardiovascular disease. And that's what I became interested in.
Right.
And what I wanted to do when I left my full-time practice, I still see patients 1 day a week right down the street here. But what I wanted to do was to build a mobile application that could fill that gap, that could connect users, wearable-enabled users, and virtual preventive cardiologists to help the user and other stakeholders prolong life, prevent that heart attack and stroke. And so that's what I've been working on over the last several months. It's been an exciting journey. I hopped off right pre-pandemic, and there's been a lot of evolution and a lot of bumps in the road, but it's amazing how much progress you made, and it's really been an exciting time for me.
That's awesome. Yeah, and to touch on kind of like the importance of getting people on board at a younger age. I saw you posted something recently about, and something I was kind of like shocked to learn, years ago as I was learning more and more of the fact that these diseases that kill us later in life, and heart disease obviously being the number one killer in the world, like you don't just wake up one day with heart disease. You don't just wake up and have a stroke or a heart attack. It's something that starts from, 8, 9, 10 years old. And, we know this, at least from the studies I've read, of like when a, child unfortunately dies in a car accident or something, and you look at the autopsy and they already have signs of, they already have atherosclerosis.
Yeah. You took the words out of his mouth. We know from multiple autopsy studies that atherosclerosis begins in the teenage years. And it's really, part of the solution, the Corverix solution, is to focus on prevention. If you already have high blood pressure, diabetes, obesity,
you're 14.
We can work on that. But I mean, even at a later age, at my age, your age,
right.
like you missed the boat. That's with years of disease.
Right.
And so I think that we really need to focus on that, what I feel sort of that ignored population, younger people.
Totally. Yeah, it's like just thinking to, again, kind of like to my journey, like my big like kind of gripe was just like, I just couldn't believe, here we have this disease that, literally is the number one killer in the world, right?
Yep. And
we know diet and lifestyle, you can probably argue and you would probably know better than me, but, my kind of number is like 95% of heart disease is preventable.
That's right.
And in many cases, reversible. Right.
So that's, if you asked me, Pat, if you said, Michael, what's the number one thing that someone should know? Is that, just like you just said, 90% of your risk for that first heart attack can be mitigated by lifestyle modifications.
Right.
So this idea of like, I have bad genes. Yeah. That's pretty rare, actually. Yes, people have genetic predisposition to things. But the majority of that risk is because patients have had poor lifestyles. They smoke, they don't sleep right, they don't exercise, their diets are heavy, very heavy in animal fat. Yeah. And if they can just make some changes, then they can reduce that risk.
Yeah.